What's up, everybody? It's your man Gillis the Kid. I am back again with another online review. This time we're going to be talking about the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 and the Note 10 Plus. I'm here on Samsung's website here. So let's take a look. It's been a while since I did an online review. I'm going to be going over like the performance, the design, and the camera. All the stuff that's new this year. And let's take a look here. So this phone is all about more power, more speed, and more storage. We're gonna go down, and so this phone has the new 7nm processor. It's got 8 gigs of RAM for the smaller Note 10, and then the bigger Note 10, which is the Note 10 Plus, has 12 gigs of RAM. Samsung also brought out a Note 10 Plus. It's like a 5G version. And let's go down. So you get 256 gigs of storage. The Note 10 Plus can go up to 512. And the Note 10 Plus, it can be expandable up to 1 terabyte. So if you want more storage, you're going to have to get the Note 10 Plus, which is probably what Samsung wants you to do. I'm not a big fan of no SD card slot. Samsung should have learned their lesson when the S6 came out. But let's look at the performance real quick. I have seen the phone up close and personal already. So we're going to go down. So you get that super fast charging ability, just like on the S10 and the S10 Plus. You get fast charging and power share. And here's a picture of the Samsung Buds. So you can charge the Buds right on the back of the Note 10. Or if you have another Note 10 or an S10 or any phone that has that wire share ability, you can charge it right on the back. So here we go again. That's the storage. So 256, 512, and if you want expandable storage, you're going to have to get the bigger Note 10 Plus, which can take up to an SD card of 1 terabyte. That's the processor. So it looks like Samsung has kept the Infinity O display. I believe in the Samsung event they called it like the cinematic display. It also has a vapor cooling chamber. So if you're playing games or if you're watching movies, some people do both at the same time. It does have a vapor cooling chamber, so that's a pretty good feature to have in a phone that size. And then they have like the 5G version. A lot of carriers are pushing 5G now, but none of the carriers really truly offers 5G. But this phone is 5G compatible, so whenever that kicks out, you can probably just use the Note 10. And then it's got the USB Type-C. Another thing at the Samsung event they kept talking about was the Samsung DeX. So they got DeX for Business, and you can access your files. Let me see what it says here. Edit text and open desktop applications while still multitasking on your phone. But I mean, most people do that anyway. And then if you go down, Microsoft and Samsung, they have some type of partnership together, especially with OneDrive and everything. So I'm probably going to drop that down into the description. You can read more about that, but Samsung and Microsoft, they do have a partnership together now. So you do get the stereo speakers. It's IP68 water resistance. So it's the same with the S10 and the S10 Plus. It can be submerged in 1.5 meters of water for up to 30 minutes. They have Samsung Knox, so that's their security that they use. And then there's Bixby. I don't know anybody who uses Samsung's voice assistant, but they're still on that whole Bixby thing. And yeah, so we're going to take a look. We'll go to design right here. So it's a pretty slim device. So yeah, so there it is, the Infinity O display. So the Note 10 Plus, that's a 6.8 inch display, and then the smaller Note 10 is a 6.3 inch display. So it's not too much bigger than the Note 9 or the S10, because the S10 is a 6.3, so almost pretty much the same size as an S10 and a Note 9. So as far as colors goes, and I do have to say, this Aura Glow color, it does not look like this in person. It looks like one of those reflectable mirrors, one of those cheap mirrors you get from the dollar store. It's really bad in my opinion. But it comes in Aura Glow. There's a black, which is like the glossy black, and then there's white. And then if we click on the Note 10 Plus, it comes in Aura Glow, the black, white, and blue. There's also a red and a pink version, but I believe that's the international phone. So depending on what country and carrier that actually sells it, you can get red and pink. I do believe I've seen that too at the event. So yeah, that's the screen. You got the AMOLED panel. They have something called night mode. It's running Samsung's UI. Now we're going to go to the S Pen. So some pretty big changes when it comes to the S Pen. That's probably one of the reasons why a lot of people even consider buying the Note. So this S Pen is Bluetooth enabled, and it does have to be charged. So one 6-minute charge will get you up to 10 hours of battery life. So that's pretty good. Yep, Bluetooth enabled. And you can it has like a remote control, so you can use it to play or pause videos. And then they have something new called Air Actions. So you can control certain things in the device, like the front camera, for instance. So right here, if you move the S Pen clockwise or counterclockwise, you can get everybody in the shot. And then there's gallery, so you can flick side to side to advance through the gallery. So that's pretty good. You don't even have to touch the screen. And then they have volume. So if you move the S Pen up and down, you can control the sound too. So you know, it's a pretty cool feature. They have something for handwriting and editable text. It's just like the Note 9 when they had when you can write on the phone with the phone being off, and you can send a text. And then they have Samsung Notes, which I do use. That's pretty useful. You can do different things with that. So just for instance, right here, it's a pop-out S Pen, and you can use that when the screen is off. You can save it too, and you can share it. There's something called the AR Doodle, so you can draw in 3D I don't think I've ever used that before, but a lot of people like that. I think a lot of kids might like that. And yeah, we're going to move on to the camera. So, pretty big things with the camera. I'll go over that again. So we're going to go down. So on the front, you get the 10 megapixel selfie camera. On the back, it has a depth vision camera. So you get the 16 megapixel ultra wide camera, a 12 megapixel wide angle camera, and then you get the 12 megapixel telephoto camera. The S10e is the one that didn't have the telephoto camera. But I mean, it's pretty much the same. If you have an S10 or an S10 Plus, camera-wise, it's pretty much the same thing. I don't really see a difference in the camera here on their website. And then you have like pro grade video. So you get the bokeh effect, live focus. You can blur out the backgrounds. They've added a lot of stuff with the camera. So you can zoom in with the mic now, and you can the camera basically listens in on sound. So I mean, that's a pretty good feature too, especially if you're in a noisy place. They got optical image stabilization, hyperlapse. I just tried that out on my GoPro. That's a pretty good feature. The camera does shoot in 4K video at 60 frames per second, and it does have HDR10 plus recording, so you're gonna get nice vibrant colors, and it's gonna run super fast. They also have something called, what is this? Yeah, video editing. So for all you YouTubers out there and people who like to do like video editing, it's built right into the phone. You can share it, and then they go in. This is just an example of what ultra wide camera picture looks like. So you can see the sides pretty clear. So right here, that's the telephoto, wide angle, and ultra wide, which is represented by those three little trees at the bottom. And it has dual apertures, so when you're shooting in low light, it can brighten up your picture. That's always a big deal. It's got a portrait mode, just like the iPhone 10 when that first came out. You got screen optimizer, so you can you can adjust different settings. One of the things I do, oh, here it is right here. So I was gonna say one of the things I do like is that food mode. So you know, if you're going out to dinner, it centers in right on your food, so it can detect food. It can detect like a person, or what's this right here, a flower. So 30 different modes available, as you can see right here. So face, baby, person, dog, cat, beaches, mountain, all different kinds of scenery. That is a feature that I do like with the camera. They have depth vision. This is just like the app on the iPhone. It's not called Measure app. It's called the Quick Measure app. So basically what you do is you hold the camera up to an object, and it's going to give you all of the dimensions, so length, width, and height. That's pretty. I actually used that too. That came in handy a couple of times. And then they give you the option to they actually give you the option to compare all their phones together. But I already did that in another video. I'm going to drop that down into the description. So let me know what you think about the Galaxy Note 10 and the 10 Plus. For the first time, Samsung does have two Notes. It's just a shame that they didn't add the SD card to the smaller one. That's a big I'm going to say that's a big no-no for me. It's a deal breaker because I was thinking about getting the smaller one, which feels really good in your hand, but without that SD card, I don't think I'm going to buy it. A lot of people would think 256 gigs is a lot, but if you're the kind of person that keeps a lot of videos and stuff on their device, it's going to fill up pretty quickly. And Samsung, they released a lot of different phones this year. Hold on a sec. I got my list right here. So, Samsung has released at least 20 different phones this year. So, you got the A10. Actually, they're all the A. They're called the A series. So, you got the A10, the A20, which is in the $200 price range. You got the A20e. All these phones have like 32 gigs of storage. You got the A40, the A50. you got the A60, A70. The A80 is pretty unique. That's the camera that has like the flip camera on the top. I'm probably gonna do. I wanted to get my hands on that one. And then you have the M10 and the M20. I have no idea what that is. But when you count them all up, including all of the flagships, Samsung released almost 17 different devices this year. That's absolutely ridiculous. But, yeah, that's the Note 10 and the 10 Plus. Let me know down into the comments what you think about it. Like I said before, if you have an S10 or an S10 Plus, it's pretty much the same thing. But that's all I have for now. I want to thank everybody for watching. I'm going to have some more videos coming up pretty soon. And I'll catch you on the next one.